Hello.
Hello. Sorry, I have popcorn in my teeth.
Oh, did you get it from the Renaissance bucket?
Oh my goodness, no, I didn't. I got it from the paper bucket.
I didn't want to mess up the Renaissance bucket with actual popcorn.
So he put the paper bucket in the Renaissance bucket.
This is the 2023 version of me getting that pizza box.
That Taylor Swift red pizza box.
Exactly. And so now I have the Renaissance bucket. And what am I going to put in it? I don't even know.
You could put I don't know, all of your lovely gadgets in there.
I don't have many gadgets.
When you get those like Apple Vision Pros, you can put them in there.
I could store them in there. Yeah. That'd be a beautiful place for them, actually.
I don't know if like you can put like metal on metal, like it could like ruin them.
I'm sure they have like a case that I could put it in
and then
first,
you could put the case. But if you would want the case on display, you spend a lot of money on this.
You don't need all of it.
As Beyonce has shown us, if you spend money on something, show it to the world.
That's true.
In cinemas, preferably.
You got to go behind the scenes.
Yes.
See how much money it costs.
Yes.
To put a stage like that up. And stadium's not easy.
A stadium's not easy. Got to build the roof. We'll talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Two Gay Mats. It's Matt Steele.
And it's Matt Palmer.
And today, me and Matt Palmer did something together that is very special.
It's very special. I feel like we don't often go see films together.
No, the last time we saw a piece of cinema was Gone Girl in 2014.
When did we see the last 5 years in theaters?
Oh, that was 2015. Never mind. The last 5 years was our last.
That was the last time.
I mean, and what cinema that was.
But
today we saw what most people would call one of the biggest pieces of cinema of the year.
Absolutely.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer, indeed.
Killers of the Flower Moon, Killers of the Flower Boo.
Okay.
Because today we saw, what did we see?
We saw a film by Beyonce, Renaissance, and darlings, run, don't walk to the theater to see Beyonce. And this performance of a lifetime. I saw the Renaissance tour when it came to Los Angeles. I was there in the SoFi Arena myself, and SoFi Stadium, excuse me. And she did such a lovely... There's a
difference between a stadium and an arena.
Which we learned.
Thank you.
And it was obviously such a wonderful performance and so incredible to be there live and in person. But the next best thing would be to see this cinematic event, because you're getting not only 95% of the show, but also a peek behind the curtain, a peek within the mind of the auteur herself, Miss Beyonce Knowles. We learned in the interstitials about how this tour represents queer culture, how this came from Uncle Johnny, how Blue Ivy was affected, how Beyonce's knee was affected. There's just so much, so many layers.
There's so much to discuss here because there's so much movie. It's about, it's like over 3 hours, right?
No, it's like 2:48.
Oh, wow. Because I felt like I went through a whole journey.
I mean,
it was a massive event, and those speakers were so good. I mean, my seat was shaking.
Hey.
As someone who doesn't love a concert, like I don't want to go through the whole rigmarole of like being with a whole bunch of strangers who I don't know, who are screaming, who have probably consumed some sort of concoction that has caused them to be even crazier than they normally are. I am not a huge concert person.
Fair.
And so the way I like to consume a concert is laying back in my reclining AMC chair with Matt Palmer on my left and our friend Janie on our right.
Yes.
And just having it being center and having my chair shake from the amazing high quality speakers and the amazing big screen in front of me.
And the cinematic... like visuals that she's giving us. Again, not visuals. I shouldn't say the word visuals here.
Let's have this be clear. We did not give visuals today.
We did not, but we got like the cinematography of this concert footage.
Oh my God.
Is just next fucking level. Like before I went to the Renaissance show, I pre-gamed with my friend Justin, and we were watching the Beyonce Experience, which is her tour that was basically after B-Day, and it's shot well. It's like a very good concert for 2006.
Sure, we love an arena.
We love an arena, but you see how things have progressed in technology and in budget, because this is a film. Like this, the fact that they were shooting basically a movie every fucking night, because everything had to be at this tip-top quality, because you are going to see cuts from so many nights, so many different outfits that are being cut to seamlessly. Like if you loved the Coachella homecoming moment where she switches from the yellow a hoodie into the pink
when she's shaking her ass.
We've got many shots for you here, darling, because there are so many transitions, so many different costume changes that happen in the blink of an eye. and it's beautiful. The edits together are gorgeous, but the fact that they had so much raw footage to choose from,
oh my God,
must have been so daunting.
How many like gigabytes, terabytes of like video footage of that did you think Beyonce used for the making of this?
It's beyond our even wildest imagination.
Daunting, and not as daunting as like putting together the show that they put together, because when you see just essentially the interstitials like start and she talks about all the people involved, the truck drivers, the people who put up the screens, the fact that there are, spoiler alert, like 3 different versions of the same set because they have to like set it up ahead of time.
Yes.
Like when they're in one city, they have to be in another city setting up the stage because there's so much to it.
Yes.
The technicalities of everything and how she just like gives all of those people their flowers is so beautiful, and it's so Beyonce.
Yes.
I like it was just so fascinating to see like how it all gets put together.
And it was unbelievable. And I love how she highlighted that this is the most women she's ever seen put a stage together. And she's like, since we're doing stadiums, there's no ceiling. So we had like the most expensive thing on this tour is the amount of steel needed to basically create a ceiling from point, everywhere we go. And I love that she constantly did that throughout the film. I felt like shined a light on the different cast members that are just a part of the show, like the dolls, all of the voguers, the dancers, the people that really were like, this music and this house sound is within me, and the fact that I can portray my love of dance and love of voguing and love of ballroom on the largest stage in the world at this very moment.
Beyonce stage is such a beautiful thing to see. Yeah. I loved seeing the musician who was announcing that she was pregnant. I know, because in the beginning you see, the beginning we all know Beyonce opened for Beyonce. And so for those 2 numbers that she does in the intro to the concert, where she's literally just standing there the entire time, you see her trumpet player who is so pregnant and just like having such a blast. Yes. Like it's so wonderful to see like a woman who was like 8 months pregnant, like having so much fun and just like showcasing her talents.
Yes.
And she just looks so beautiful because you could see her so clearly behind Beyonce. She just looks so beautiful. She just really glowed. Yeah. She was probably having a boy. Because they're just like, when you got a boy, you glow. And I feel like I got to know her dance captain so well. Like I just love how Beyonce really, because Beyonce, I don't know if y'all knew this. Beyonce works hard.
No.
Beyonce works pretty hard.
Yes.
And so she understands how hard other people work. And so she's like, I want people to know how hard I work, and therefore how hard other people work. Yes. Because making art is so hard, especially when you are at the helm of it all, when you are in full creative control of everything and you have so many details that you have to pay attention to. Like it is so I don't know how her brain doesn't explode. Right. I don't know how she hasn't crumbled into bits, because just watching it is overwhelming.
It really is. And so, okay, if we're talking about the music, the performances, I stand by what I said in the Chatty Cathy's episode about when I saw the concert. But for me, it's really hard to beat, as far as like performances go, the run from I'm That Girl into Cozy into Alien Superstar, which, by the way, spoiler alert, but the fact that she included like the sound issue that happened that one performance of Alien Superstar, and she's like, the song starts and you're like, everything's going great, it's a concert, everything's gonna be kept together.
And you're so excited because everyone loves Alien Superstar, and you're just like, yes, let's go.
And then the sound goes out.
It goes out, and then like visually what they do with the editing, it really makes you think that as a viewer, it's like, oh, something's wrong with the projector.
Something's wrong with the projector.
Something got fucked up.
There's a problem, but no, that's just what can happen at a Beyonce show. And this is a tour about freedom and not a tour about perfection. And so she's highlighting this.
It's not a tour about perfection, and the concert's literally fucking perfect.
Look, we had people with me who did not believe Beyonce's, I've grown out of my perfection era, and I believe her. And so she's showcasing this here. And I loved, we were so obsessed with when they were underground, essentially waiting for the power to come back on in the stadium. And the crowd's like, Beyonce, Beyonce. There's some low-level gay who just looks at her as like, it would kind of be iconic if you changed.
And I am just like, I don't know who that little gay was. I imagine he was like the assistant to the assistant to the assistant. He might have been someone who snuck backstage, somehow got there, somehow, and was just like, Beyonce. it'd be really cool if you did this. And then he like ran away and like dissipated into the
Then
mist.
she changed, added like butterfly wings, and it was iconic. When the sound was back on, she rose from the stage below, and it was like, he was right. That gay was right.
Yes, because the gays know what will get people talking.
Absolutely, they do.
Yeah.
That section of the show itself is just so mind-boggling to me.
It's unreal.
Like the colors, like the pink of Cozy, the end of Cozy when she gets into the bed, like
the energy of the bed
Yes.
into Alien Superstar. Yes, Beyonce, spoiler alert, also has a lot of energy. But like truly, like it really captured the essence of like what Renaissance as an album was. And
Yes.
it just reminded you like how cohesive that album is, how
Yes.
just mind blowing and like forward thinking musically that album was, and how she was just having the time of her life.
And as far as the set list, I'm so appreciative that she essentially keeps the big chunks of songs that you imagine together after listening to the album on fucking loop together. Like those three go together. It goes from Cuff It into Energy into Break My Soul. Like the songs that you're like, it's essentially sequential, like the album order. And because she told such a very clear story with the album, that's adding this layer of live performance and tour in a way that I just think is so cool, because you could see a screenshot of this tour for most of it and be like, I know what song she's singing. Like she gives every single song its own specific and unique moment, which I truly appreciate so much. And I will say, seeing the mute challenge and seeing it cut straight to Cardi B's TikTok where she's like, she's on mute, everybody's on mute. It was just like, yes. Everyone, I'm so glad people walked in that fucking stadium and knew what to fucking do. Because that's the first thing I did when I went to the stadium. I went with some friends. I was like, by the way, this is the moment where you shut the fuck up. And so we're going to shut the fuck up. Yeah. And everyone did it.
I mean, like it also like they did like film it. So like I'm sure a sound mixer was there to like edit out all the people who like didn't follow the instructions to make it more impactful in the cinema where I was.
Yes. But we didn't talk during the movie.
Oh, I didn't talk at all.
At that point.
I was on mute the entire time.
Yeah, good for you. As you should be.
Yes, I was focused the entire time lounging and just with my chair vibrating and my soul vibrating. Didn't she also like, wasn't there a period of time where she didn't do All Up in Your Mind and stuff like that?
Yes, so All Up in Your Mind and Thick and The Drunken Love were only performed at certain shows and not at all of them, which is truly fucking nuts because...
Well, because they're classic, iconic pieces of music and everything, but the way they were done in the concert.
Absolutely thrilling and beautiful.
Excellent.
And the thing is about All Up in Your Mind, and there were moments during the concert where I even noticed this, where it's like you're almost like you're looking away from the audience during All Up in Your Mind. Like you're literally just performing to the camera, but it's still like I'm still mesmerized by you and I can still feel what you're doing. The screens behind you are so big. And of course, we're watching a movie of you doing this. So seeing the backdrop of an audience is like how she is like innately filming this movie while performing her concert tour just on a regular night is beyond me. But she's the best at it because she'll give the audience as much as they need and give the camera as much as it needs without, a short of breath.
Well, I mean, what's amazing is like when you're a performer, you have to have that third eye.
Yes.
Or for Beyonce, it's like 12 eyes. But it's like when you're acting, like you have the eye that's like in the moment and everything. And then you have the other eye that's like really sort of like contextualizing like what is happening, like your spatial awareness and how everything is going technically.
Yeah.
And when there was footage of her at rehearsals and she's like singing like the songs and everything, and in the middle of the song she's like, oh, can I have a light that's like right here? And can I have a light that's like right here? I need it really thin. Like she is so good at just like being in the moment while also being so hyper aware and vigilant of every single thing that's going on. I mean, we all remember somebody getting fired. She literally fired someone while performing her ass off.
She did. She's just, I don't know, otherworldly. I feel like I loved seeing the behind the scenes footage of her being a mom. I loved everything with Blue was so amazing. I thought she did such an incredible job, and the way that all came to be and how Beyonce was like, we only thought she was going to do it for one show, but then she saw that people didn't think she did a great job, and so she wanted to come out and get better and better, and like I'm seeing her grow and be even better every time she performs. It was really touching, and she really is on stage for a good bit of time. Like you only kind of see the clips of her in My Power doing the dance with Beyonce when it's on TikTok or wherever you see the clip, but she's on there for a good chunk of time and like on there without her mom for a bit. Yeah. And she does a great fucking job.
And she's like in front of everyone for a big portion of time. So she can't like peek at people's feet. Which, like, girl, that's me.
I know,
like,
that's your move.
That is my move, especially like in a dance audition. Girl, get out of here. I need to be behind. So like, and I love Blue throughout the entire film. You can tell she's just such a pistol.
I know.
There's one section where I think it was like around like Diva.
Yes.
And Beyonce, you could see Beyonce at a meeting and she's talking to people. She's like, oh, I feel like we should shorten like the Diva section. And Blue is like, no, I love Diva. You can't shorten Diva.
I know.
And Beyonce's like, Blue, you need to chill.
I know, you need to chill.
And Blue's just like, I feel like I have thoughts about Diva. And Beyonce's like, listen, Blue, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but please don't cut people off. And then right when Beyonce says you're not supposed to cut people off, she gets cut off and it goes straight into Diva. Like, I mean, just the little touches, the little winks, the little nods.
It's great.
Yeah.
And the whole section that was dedicated to Uncle Johnny was so beautiful to me. And like, I love how much they talked about his fashion and how the fashion and like learning how to sew kind of protected him growing up, being a young gay black person in the 50s, like, and what his life must have been like, and the fact that Beyonce and Tina lost him right as Beyonce's career really was taking off is so devastating. And like to see such a large celebration, and the whole point of this, and you could feel it throughout the show, but also Beyonce's telling you behind the scenes, is like, I want to create a safe space for people. I want people to come here and be their true authentic self. And it was like a celebration of queerness that did not feel like Beyonce was trying to make sin to herself, even though it's obviously the Beyonce show. It was just a true celebration that felt like appreciation and not appropriation, which is a hard line to walk, and Beyonce does it so beautifully.
Well, and it also didn't feel like infantilizing them at all.
Not at all.
Like, it was just like, we were all in this together and we were having fun. And that's why the Renaissance era was so great. Because you know, you have like, you know, self-titled was like super like, I am the queen of the universe. I am having sex with my man. This album's going to be a surprise. And then there was Lemonade, which of course we all know that album was heavy.
Generational trauma.
Yes. And among other things. And then Renaissance was just such a wonderful, refreshing, like, turn back into just like, no, music's fucking wonderful. And it brings people together, and it's fun, and it's silly, and it's sexy, and it's cool, and it's sassy, and it was just such a great era. And I can't wait till those visuals come out.
I mean, we got a couple of the, like, you know, visuals that they showed on the stage.
Oh my God, the high definition of those like silver visuals that you can tell were so high quality because they had to be on a 5,000 foot screen and everything. It was just like, oh, if the album was a visual album and it was like all like stuff like that, oh, we'd be dying in our seats. I mean, we were dying for Black is King.
I know.
Like, you know, but this, it was yeah, it was a moment.
I hope one day to see them
in full as well.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of other highlights. I really loved, like, after she earlier on in the film was making such a big point about like, oh, lighting is very important to me. And like, I have visions of lighting. I thought the lighting, especially during Church Girl, was really impressive. The way that it made it look like stained glass, and like, it really felt like so churchy and legit. I really loved that. And I also have to say that, like, Break My Soul, you almost forget because it was the first single, and it's like, oh yeah, it's a song we all know, blah, blah. It is such a fucking mantra and such a moment in that show when she's walking around in that circle when they go into the remix. Like, it is just the most joyful and most like community building kind of feel, that song, and I appreciate it so much at this point.
And what's so great about the Break My Soul moment and the staging of that is like everything is so rehearsed. Like everything, it's Beyonce, guys. And so everything in this concert was so precise, so many intricate details, and Break My Soul was literally just like, I'm gonna run around this loop. Like, it's gonna be so simple because the song is just euphoric and like, we are in this together, and you all know it, sing along.
I mean, Beyonce did say that in her previous eras, she used to rehearse ad nauseum, and so that she could be free on stage. In this era, she just is free. Do you believe she did not rehearse ad nauseum for this show?
You know, maybe she took a day off and went for a swim.
She did at some point
in the
film say that she had worked for 43 days in a row or something. So I guess I guess we don't know her barometers there, but I could feel the looseness. Like I could feel that she would allow herself mistakes in ways that she probably would not have in previous tours and previous eras. And I appreciated just the balance that she has to create, because she's like, my number one job at this point is being a mom. Like I have 3 kids. I am a mother to them, and I'm very involved, and I am a wife, and I just have a very full life that like I cannot pour my entire self into my work all the time. And so it was nice to see her wear all those hats at the same time and so beautifully.
I can't even imagine being a parent and sitting down for 2 hours and 48 minutes to watch that movie again, let alone being a parent and like actually creating that giant tour that she created.
Right.
Like I'm so tired.
I know.
I'm so tired.
It's very impressive. I also just need to give shout outs to Virgo's Groove. Vocally, that performance is just unfucking believable.
Even if we didn't see this thing tonight, we would just end every episode with just like, and I just want to give a shout out to Virgo's Groove.
Because it deserves a shout out no matter what we do, no matter what we say. Virgo's Groove, Summer Renaissance, Pure Honey, like these are classics for the ages, and I feel so lucky to have seen them in person live and to have seen them in this concert film live, because just what a gift this album is to all of us, and the fact that she put on a show at this magnitude and really highlighted every single song from this record. Like it is the stuff of fan dreams. Like this tour is such fan service, because she could have done, we're doing all the big hits that everyone wants to, like she didn't even sing fucking Halo. Like she cut Love on Top from the film. Like she's like, I want you to see this album, and everything else of me that you get is gonna be Little Whipped Cream, but the point is Renaissance, and enjoy it. This is a moment, and feel it in your soul. Yeah,
I will say my heart did like stop a little bit when there was one section where she was just like, I've been working so hard, after this I'm gonna take a break, and it was like
you always say that, but like she's allowed a break, and she, we have been on breaks with Beyonce before.
Yes, and they're always worth the wait.
They're always worth the wait. I will wait as long as it takes. I know she'll come back.
The amazing thing is, because like the people we were with Janie, and we were with Matt Palmer's boyfriend Jackson.
Yes.
And we were all just talking at the end of it. And it's just like, it's so wild how every next thing she does, she tops herself.
I know.
And she, without fail, tops herself. For how many years she has been topping herself with it, to the point where like, I look at, the amazing things she did in like 2011. And I remember thinking then like, it's never going to get any better than this. And I look at that stuff now in 2023, and I'm just like, for that must have cost like $5. Like, get out of here. Like I look at it and I'm just like, that's so like cheap looking compared to what like is happening now. So I can't imagine when she's like 70.
I know.
This
is like, she's at this point just really like walking her own path. Like this is truly unprecedented to be this artistically and commercially successful this far into your career, this far into your life. Like I am just here and excited for whatever she chooses to do next. Like she says in the film, she doesn't have to prove anything to anybody.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to give a fuck. Like she spent so much of her life being a people pleaser, and I hope that she is being honest when she says she doesn't give a fuck. Because if you were Beyonce, would you?
No,
like,
God,
come
please.
the fuck.
I would have stopped giving a fuck after Dangerously in Love.
I know,
like,
honestly.
I would have been like, I'm Beyonce. Get out of here. But also, I think that's why like Renaissance is such a fun album, because you can really feel her being like, I'm here to have fun. Like and I'm here to just do something exciting and great and just throw it all at the wall, and it will all stick.
And I have nothing left to prove. The reason this is so great is because I care about my art, not that I'm trying to prove to you that my art is valid. You know? And it just, I don't know. It's just what a beautiful place to be for her to release such an affirming, like black queer album. And I just am, it's like, it's the stuff dreams are made of. It's like how every 5 minutes I'm like, what if Mariah does a dance record? It's like crap that like probably won't happen, but this actually happened for me and all of the people who wanted it as much as I do. So thank you, Beyonce, for giving me this and for giving us the tour, the concert film, and hopefully one day the visuals.
One day, just some
one
visuals.
day,
just like a little visual,
just a little bit,
just a little sprinkle, just maybe for Alien Superstar. That one had to have gone off.
I'm sure it did.
Like, come on, I mean, I'm sure they all went off, but like, we will see. We will see. Act 2. What's Act 2? I don't know. Because everyone was like, the concert movie is going to be Act 2, but like I did not see an utterance of Act 2 at all.
No, this was Act 1. This is all still Act 1.
What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. Is that real? Am I real? After seeing that, I truly feel like I'm not real anymore.
No, wait, no.
This is just Beyonce's world and we're all living in it. And so who knows if any of us are real.
That's true. So guys, tell us below what you thought of Beyonce's new film, Renaissance, a film by Beyonce. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Matt Palmer Music.
And it's Matt Steele.
And at 2 Gay Mats for both of us. We have a podcast that comes out every Monday called 2 Gay Mats, TWO. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts. And if you really enjoy us, go to patreon.com/2gaymats where you can get extra bonus content from us every week-ish. Very often, absolutely. Talk with us on the Discord. Meet a bunch of friends you just haven't met yet. And Matt Steele.
Yes.
Who else do we need to give shout-outs to?
We need to give shout-outs to our legendary patrons.
Yes.
And their names are Jen, Jacob, Jeff, Montana, Matthew, Jesse, Dallas, Sarah, Sam, Corinne, and Dr. Woods.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching. We'll be back soon with more 2 Gay Mats.
Bye.
Bye.